Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. Dianhong Black Tea from Yunnan in China is one of the finest black teas in the world. And if you've not tried a high quality Dianhong before, then do yourself a favor and get some because it is so delicious. And for me, it's very personal. This was one of the tea types that really launched me into tea. I remember tasting a good Dianhong about 25 years ago when I was first sampling specialty tea, and its smoothness, its richness, its velvety nature, and its maltiness just opened my eyes to the wonders of specialty tea. It was one of the teas that was my revelation in true tea. And so I have a very personal relationship with Dianhongs, and we've been sourcing Dianhongs for over 2 decades. So every year we look out for Dianhongs. Dianhong basically just means Yunnan black tea. Dian is a shortened older version of saying Yunnan province in China. So Dianhong just means Yunnan red. Hong is actually red, so it's sort of confusing, but red tea is what black tea is called in China. So black tea is called Hongcha, red tea. So Dianhong just means Yunnan red. But it has been sort of associated now with this style of very golden tea. You may have heard of golden monkey tea. There's various different ways of calling it. We usually call it golden bud. So golden bud, Dianhong. If you speak to anybody who's a tea head out there, you say Dianhong, they'll always think of pretty much this sort of golden, furry, buddy black tea. Prized for its velvetiness, its smoothness, and its extremely malty nature. So we're always sampling Dianhongs throughout, the springtime to find our Dianhong or our golden bud of the year. And last year, I'm speaking to you from early 2024, but last year, springtime, we were sampling lots of golden buds as we do. And this one popped up on my tasting table. We always taste blind, so I knew nothing about it. I tasted it and I was just, all other teas just got taken off the table immediately. That's it. That's the one I want. Oh my gosh, what the heck is this tea? Because this is one of the finest Dianhongs I've ever tasted. Then unblinded myself, found out that this was a gushu. No surprise. Gushu, for those of you who don't know, means ancient tree. This is 300-year-old tea tree. So 300-year-old tea trees. Let's quickly scope it. This is April 2023. The cultivar is the Daiyezhong variety, so the big leaf Assamica variety. Origin, this is from Fengqing in Yunnan in China. Fengqing is just the classic place for Dianhong. I don't know if we've ever sourced a Dianhong outside of Fengqing. Probably we did over the decades, but Fengqing is almost always the place that we source our Dianhong. It just produces the most incredible Dianhongs, but produces huge quantities with varying qualities, of course. So that's why you have to sample every year and find the best batch. So this is from Fengqing in Yunnan in China. Picking and processing, as you can see, it's mostly buds, and it's going to go through black tea processing. The shortened version of that is it's picked, it's withered a bit, it'll be rolled, it'll be allowed to oxidize, and then it will be dried and rolled. It's mostly buds, and the elevation is about 1,600 meters. So all of that scope information is pretty much standard across most of the high quality golden buds or golden monkeys or Yunnan Dianhongs that you may see, the good quality ones. But key difference here, 300-year-old tea trees. Older tea trees are always going to have richer character, just like people. So let's dive into this tasting. I'm so excited about this because this was one of those highlights of the year. When you're doing your sampling, I mean, we taste 1,000 or so teas every year when we're doing our sampling, but always after the sampling, there are sort of a few teas that linger in the mind, that you go, oh, that tea. I'm so excited when that tea comes in. I'm super excited when that tea comes in. I mean, I'm excited about all the teas, of course, but there's always going to be some teas which just somehow stick, and this is one of them. So we used to have a tea called Wildwood Black for those of you who remember, and I still get requests to this day, when is Wildwood Black coming back? You know, we haven't found a batch of Wildwood Black that we've liked since, what, 3-4 years ago when we first launched it. So that's, you know, it'll come back when it comes back, when we find the right batch. But that was also a Gushu black tea from Yunnan. And so we're going to call this one Wildwood Gold for obvious reasons. Look at that. I mean, beautiful, beautiful. Look, all Dianhongs look beautiful. All golden, you know, Dianhongs look beautiful. But this, I would say, has a different look to it. A little bit more wild, a little bit more straggly in terms of its look. It's got just a different look. A lot of the golden buds would be a bit more uniform. And so there's a sort of, dare I say it, a little bit more of a wilder look to it, even though it's extremely uniform in terms of its color and its picking. But the picking is a bit more wiry, a bit more straggly than a lot of the other golden buds that you may see out there. All right, here we go. Smelling this Gushu Golden Dianhong. So we're not going to be calling this golden bud. We're calling this Wildwood Gold to hark back at Wildwood Black, our previous Gushu black tea. Here we go. I wish everybody could smell this. And it would be great to do a back-to-back with a more classic golden bud or a younger tree golden bud. So younger tree golden younger tree golden buds are generally going to exhibit lots of malt, creams, malts, and a slight cocoa-y, chocolatey note in there. Sort of that's the headline aromas. Those are the headline aromas. This has all of that, but it's like increased complexity, increased depth. I am getting dark chocolate biscuits. I'm getting malted milkshakes. I'm getting, it's just so concentrated in terms of chocolate and malt and biscuit. It's just intense on the nose. But I'm also getting some other notes running through that are more in the fruity territory. I'm getting red currants. I'm getting cherry syrup, a touch of strawberry jam, like a port wine. So those deep, jammy, fruity, slightly fermented fruity notes are also coming through very, very strongly. So it's that dark chocolate and cherry, dark chocolate and port, biscuits and malt. It is intense. It is so intense, compared with other golden buds, which are, as I said, is one of my favorite black teas. So like I'm just totally spoilt here because it's one of my favorite black teas, but then just dialed up. And this is what is just forever fascinating and bewildering about tea, is that every time you think you've found the best that you can ever find, another tea comes along that just blows that out of the water. It's like setting world records. You think, no one's going to beat that. And then after about 5 or 6 years, something comes along, somebody comes along and breaks that world record. This is, for me, a world record breaking Dianhong. Okay, getting ahead of myself, I know, but I have tasted this tea in the sampling and it rocked my world. It's just amazing. Right, so that chocolate and malt is there in full effect. Reminds me of chocolate malt, over-maltine. If you've ever had over-maltine, maybe you've had it as a drink, but I'm specifically thinking of dark over-maltine chocolate that you can get, I think only I've seen it in Switzerland. I'm sure it's available somewhere else, maybe in specialist shops, but Ovaltine, I mean, which is one of my favorite chocolate bars. It's just Ovaltine. It's just dark chocolate Ovaltine, not like the standard, the dark chocolate. That port is still there, but I'm getting red currants. I'm getting slight spiciness like black peppercorns. I was going to say coffee, but it's not quite there. Like a very, very, like a mocha coffee, but very, very like light on the coffee, right? More about those chocolates, a little bit of milk in there as well. Look at that. Look at those. They are just stunners. So red currant, Ovaltine, cherry jam, strawberry jam. Yeah, so jammy, sweet, summer fruits, cherries, strawberries. Slight acidity from the red currants, a little bit cranberry. So more sort of in the winter fruit area. And just a nose hit of chocolate, dark chocolate, biscuits and malt. Bomb. I like to brew these pretty hot. It's at 87 now, so we're going to pump it up to about 95. Crab gets first taste of Wildwood Gold. What a difference age makes. Incredible. Same area that I always source from, right? But just the 300 years, it's amazing. And as I said, if you've not tried a Dianhong before, then it is one of the more forgiving teas out there. In fact, it's hard to find a bad tasting Dianhong. It tends to be that they're generally all pretty decent, but obviously then there are grades up from that. And when we source a golden bud, we probably taste about a dozen to 20 golden buds every year from producers that we trust, and we'll find the best one of that season. But like I said, when I tasted this one, it was like, just take all the others off the table. There's no point in even talking about them right now. They're great teas, but like, this is just clear winner. The smells coming up my nose from this tea set. I mean, I feel like I'm about to drink just deep, dark, hot chocolate, and there's a biscuit on the side, you know? It's amazing. Wow. It's not often that I can just sit here and just enjoy the smells just emanating from the tea tray. Okay, here we go. Look at the liquor. I should have shown it to you here. I'll show it to you quickly here. Yes, it's that sort of classic Dianhong look, but it's just a bit darker, a little bit darker, I would say, than sort of classic. Okay, here we go. Brings me back to 25 years ago when I first had that revelation with Dianhong. And it really was one of the teas that launched me to go, okay, I need to taste more teas now. I don't know. If I hadn't tried that Dianhong, would I be sitting here today? I think I doubt it, to be honest with you. Thick and oily. Like, all buddy teas like this are going to have a thickness about them, but this is, again, just a notch up. Thick and very, very oily. Taste. Much more nuanced than you would expect from a Dianhong. Complex. All right, let's try and break it down. Yes, the chocolate's there. But with the oiliness, I'm imagining chocolate and butter. It's got a buttery quality. So butter and chocolate spread over a brown bread. So takes a brown, like a really malted brown bread. Take butter, room temperature butter, easy spreadable, and then chocolate spread on top. It is just the most comforting, enjoyable, indulgent, slightly sort of childlike thing of chocolate spread on bread, but then make it adult. Take the bread, make it malted, make it brown, get some high quality salted butter and get a really good dark chocolate spread. Just take it all up to the next level, right? In terms of gourmand taste. That's what you're getting here. Thick, oily. Sweet, rock sugars. After you've swallowed, a little floral note is coming through. I'm picking up some violet or lilac, just imagining sort of more purple flowers. It goes down your throat like a wave of just velvety, oily, smooth, unctuous. Enough words to describe how thick and unctuous it is. I feel like I'm Nigella Lawson. Here we go. Brewing up a second infusion of this absolute bomb of a tea. Wow. Doesn't disappoint. It's as memorable now as, it's as good now as my memory of it and when I sampled it. Wow. Nuts. Candied pecans. I mean, these are like, some of my favorite tastes ever. You give me malted brown bread, salted butter, chocolate spread, candied pecans, with some of that sort of strawberry jam and cherry syrups. I mean, I feel like Homer Simpson. Incredible, incredible. All right, second infusion. The thickness is just remarkable. For Dianhong, for a black tea, you expect some thickness, but this is just next level. Oh, other little notes coming through. A little mineral stoniness happening, which is interesting because you'd expect with that thick, oily chocolatey to have none of that, but just there, a little freshness, a little reminder that this, comes from mineral-rich soils. Sort of reminiscent of a little bit of a pottery quality in there. But again, the predominance is that chocolate. And now it's a little bit like chocolate and hazelnut spread. No brands mentioned, but not that brand, right? Higher quality, dark chocolate hazelnut spread. Like you've upgraded, you've gone to the gourmet shop, you've spent a bit too much money on a dark chocolate and hazelnut spread. Yeah, hazelnuts, pecans, so nuts are coming through. Nuts, chocolate, bread, some flowers, some of those sort of fruity notes like cherries and jams, and minerality. Just spectacular. A spectacular rendition of a Dianhong. Right, let's smell the empty Gongdao Bay. Malt, but malt loaf, picking up some of those dried fruits. So a malt loaf usually will have some raisins in there, dried raisins. Yeah, malt loaf, dried raisins, chocolate spread, a touch of say it, love or hate, but a touch of like Marmite in there. So it's got that salty umami, if you've ever had nutritional yeast or yeast extract, it's got that salty umami quality to it in there. So it reminds me of, like, if I was going to have breakfast and I took some good quality white bread, or good quality sort of, not sourdough, but a good quality white bread, not like, a good quality white bread. Toast it quite hard, so it's a little getting to the part where it's quite dark but not burnt, and then butter and a little bit of Marmite, and then on the other, and then same plate next to it, I've got some brown bread, not toasted, really quality malted brown bread, soft salted butter, and loads of dark chocolate hazelnut spread. Put them together, you got this. Incredible. All right, I'm gonna drink through some infusions of this because I want to see how this develops in terms of mouthfeel and in terms of body sensation. I can tell you right now, not only is it velvet going down my throat, but the aftertaste is, and the finish in the mouth is starting to fizz. It's starting to tingle. And I think that that's going to develop. And with my knowledge of gushu, I expect this to ramp up to the next level. So I'll be back after a few infusions to let you know my final thoughts. Fifth infusion of this Wildwood Gold. The mouthfeel on this is definitely, again, a notch up compared to most Dianhongs. Most Dianhongs are velvety and they have a nice, slightly pulling astringency, but generally quite gentle in the mouth. This is much more tingly, much more fizzy in the mouth. It's got a tingly fizzing quality in the mouth, and it has a mineral cool nature, like minty mineral cooling nature. So it's very, like mint humbugs. So minty toffee, sweetness, juiciness, very, very cooling all the way back down the throat. So it's like that thick, unctuous quality of the tea has just lined my whole throat and my tongue with this. When I breathe in and out, it's just very, very minty cool, but still sweet rock sugars and like mint humbugs. And this mineral, again, like pottery note is in there as well, which is just adds even more of a character to the tea. Flavor profile is remarkable and unchanging. Well, I mean, the only change I would say is it becomes sweeter. It becomes more rock sugar like. It's like you've just continued to add a little sprinkle of rock sugar in there. So it's just an absolute delight. Take a look at these incredible leaves before we leave. Look at that. I mean, if there's any sort of supermodel for black teas, Dianhong is usually one of them, but this Wildwood Gold is a supermodel for this tea. It's just that look, the way that it transforms from that very golden, and sort of trichome, heavy, furry quality of the dry leaf, and then it becomes this I don't know, what color would you call that? I'm terrible at colors. This combination of like a clay chestnut brown, but then with this little green gold quality in the leaf as well. And the color of the liquor, sixth infusion, is still strong. And you can see I'm not doing long infusions. I don't know how many infusions you get out of it, but I would just keep drinking. It's just going to become like sweet rock sugar syrup in your mouth. Oh, So sweet. And the sweetness is bizarre to say, but I'm tasting the sweetness in my throat. It's like down here. And that's what's remarkable about Gushu teas, is the way that they the way that they lay down the minerals in your mouth is it goes all the way down. It's not just like you have some aftertaste here. It's like all the way down my throat. It's cool, it's sweet, it's mint humbugs, toffee and rock sugar. And in the mouth, I'm still getting dark chocolate spread. Dark chocolate hazelnut. Oh, spectacular. A slamming tea. Amazing, amazing Dianhong. Just a must, in my opinion. If you love Dianhong teas, then absolutely you're going to grab this tea. But if you have not tried Dianhong teas, then you're going to spoil yourself with one of the best that I've tasted in my 20 odd years or 30 years of tasting teas. Wildwood Gold. That's it, tea heads. Oh, I forgot to do body sensation. And the fact that I forgot it tells you about the body sensation. I'm feeling this tea. Unusual for a Dianhong, which generally is going to be a nice little buzz, but nothing particularly super strong. I'm definitely feeling this tea. Yeah, a bit more woozy and a bit more lightheaded and a bit more altered than your usual Dianhong experience. Again, it's all to do with the age of those tea trees. But yeah, I feel much more tea lifted than a usual Dianhong session. So another reason why this tea should be on your short list of must-haves. That's it, tea heads. Check out other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the pinnacle stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.